You guys ready to get this show started? Any athletes in here? Anybody in here an athlete? Like a major? Anyone like an Olympic athlete or something? You're an athlete? No, maybe not Olympic. Maybe that's too high. You won a state championship or anything like that? What do you got? What do you got? Can I guess? Wrestling. Okay, not wrestling. Wrestling. It was what sport?
High school football.
High school football. All right, you guys look like high school football types. Nice. What'd you win? State? State? What state? Ohio State? Kentucky. Oh, okay, all right. Sorry. Oh, boy. It's because all the farmers were working during football season. That's how you guys won. I've never been an athlete. I think like most kids, I always wanted to be a very good athlete. And I never got that athlete's body. I've always had like a coach's body. Generous. An assistant coach's body, right? Gym shorts, polo tucked in, a visor. Hell yeah, I'm whistling at you. I don't know why. I'm just there because they pay me $2,000 a year. What's up? I've always wanted to be a good athlete, but every sport that I tried when I was a kid, there was just like so many signs that I wasn't good at it. The sport that I was probably the most successful at is I played soccer. I played soccer at Madeira. If you're local, we won our first state championship back in 2003. Thank you, I was on that team. When I say we won our first state championship, I say that in the same way most people say that we root for Ohio State. Like we won the national championship, you had nothing to do with it. I was just there. I looked good in the uniform. I knew I wasn't good because my coach called me the heart of the team. That just means he didn't have the heart to cut me. That was it. He liked my attitude. I was fun to be around, you know. I wasn't wasting the roster spot, you know. Not everyone's gonna play anyway. We won state. We were undefeated. We were undefeated, and on our team we were so good that we had a rule on our team that when we were up by 10 or more goals, Wayne Memmott, and only Wayne Memmott, was allowed to score a goal. 18-game season, that happened 10 times, where I had 10 other people on a soccer field trying to get me to score a goal. That was the whole goal. We had already won the game. We could have packed up and gone home. Now there's this new extra side quest challenge to get Wayne to get a goal. They were literally trying to ricochet off of my body into the net. That's how coordinated this was. How many times do you think I scored a goal that season? 0. Not one. Not a single fucking goal. Not one time. The closest, the highlight, and I say the highlight because at our senior banquet, this was the highlight tape that they showed for me. It was our game against Deer Park. We were up by 12 goals because Matt Paluta got 2 goals he wasn't supposed to. Those remind you, motherfucker. And so my coach said, hey, go stand right there at the hash, take 2 steps to the right. When you see Brad kick it, count to 2, flail your left leg, it's gonna go in. All right, coach, run out there, get to the hash, over 2. I look, Brad puts his hand up, puts it down, step, kick, count to 2, flail, ball connects, ball is sailing over the goalie's hands, hits the crossbar, comes back and hits my arm because it went up because I was celebrating too early because I thought I got a goal. Handball turnover. That was the highlight. People cheered for me. People cheered for me. That was my Rudy moment. That was my soccer career. The sport that I participated in the longest was I was a high school wrestler. That's why I said wrestling, because I wrestled a lot of guys like you. And when you're in Ohio, you gotta go down to Kentucky to get the good competition or whatever. I don't know. Sorry if you're all from Kentucky. I'm sorry. We'll make fun of Tennessee. I don't know. I was a high school wrestler. How I got into wrestling was I was in 7th grade, and I was getting bullied a lot, which just means that I was talking shit and couldn't back it up. That was it. My mom was getting concerned, and so she had a meeting with my teachers at school one night, and it wasn't parent-teacher conferences, so I knew I was in trouble. And my mom came home from that meeting, and she said, hey, what do you think about joining the wrestling team? And we were having 2 different conversations after that, because she was talking to me about the high school wrestling team. But in my head, my mom just told me that my school has a secret team that's going to teach me to do what my heroes do on Monday night on a program called Raw is War, put on by the World Wrestling Federation. Yeah, I will join that team, Mom. Are you kidding me? I can't wait to go to school now. There's a wrestling team. And here's the thing, this was pre-internet. I didn't know, no one told me. So I'm going in that whole week thinking, going into my first wrestling practice, that I'm joining a professional wrestling practice. I'm telling people that I'm practicing my finishing move. I told them I had my outfit picked out. You don't have an outfit as a high school wrestler at all. And so I showed up to my first wrestling practice dressed as my favorite wrestler. I had the wrestling shoes on that they told me to buy. I had the knee pad on. I had a Speedo and my mom's pink bathrobe with the word Nature Boy spelled across the back. And I walked into the wrestling room, which was just like a hidden dungeon corner of the room, or the gym, and I said, I'm here for wrestling practice? My coach said, no, you're here for theater practice. Over there, the theater's over there, come back tomorrow, dress normal. And so I came back the next day dressed normal. I don't know why. I shouldn't have. I had more fun at theater that day. And it was great. There's way more girls there. And went back to wrestling practice. And my mom, so I go in there and I'm at wrestling practice. And I was never good at wrestling, but I was on what they call the all-star team, which is everybody that wasn't on varsity or JV and only me. I was the only number one all-star in Madeira High School wrestling. Thank you very much, number one and only. That was just because when you go to wrestling tournaments, they have a bracket and they'll put in all the varsity wrestlers and then they'll put in the JV wrestlers, and sometimes there's some spots open. So they just put whatever kids are laying around to go out and get pummeled in the first round, and they call them all-stars. And so I was just the perennial all-star on our team. And I go out in a gym, get beat, go back up into the bleachers, listen to Eminem and eat orange slices all day. It was a great life, flirt with the wrestlerettes, I loved it. But sometimes wrestling got me in trouble because there's a duel match. I don't know if you've ever seen wrestling on TV or a movie, but this is what you've seen. It's where they have one mat in the center of the gym with a light, and then teams on either side, and they wrestle weight class by weight class, and it's like how you have a competition between two schools. And there's a big duel coming up where our 189-pounder, who had won three state championships, as many as he could win, and it was a senior, wrestling another wrestler from Kentucky, who has also had 3 state championships, was also a senior. It was a marquee match. They wrote about it in the paper, right? Everybody's there to watch this match. That day, Brian shows up and has mono because he's cool and kisses girls. You know who never kissed girls and weighed about 189 pounds? Old clean mouth Wayne. Let's go. Come in, coach, put me in. I mean, everyone's gonna watch me? Hell yeah, let's go. So it's time for this match. And again, this is like pre-internet. So nobody knew that this match wasn't happening. And so all these reporters, as soon as they start seeing me walk out, I can watch them get up and leave the gym, right? Like, oh fuck, they didn't tell us again or whatever. So I start walking out to the match, and I'm watching this guy come out to meet me in the middle of the mat. And we were both wearing the same style uniform, but it looks very different. He's wearing a singlet and he looks like a man. He's got traps and the straps keep sliding down. He's got pecs. I know he's a child, but he has the gutters, you know, the gutters that go down. And he had what looked like a giant tube sock rolled up and shoved up in his singlet. I'm telling you, the bottom end of it was so close to the end of the singlet that I thought the new competition was us keeping his leg down so he didn't flash dome to a bunch of high school parents, right? Hey, we'll be on the same team. Let's make this look good. Come on, man. Again, wearing a singlet, I did not have shoulder muscles. I had tits. You can see the belly button imprint because the fabric stretched across it. No tube sock, it's what looks like a little elevator button. You guys pressed it on the way up tonight. Right there in the singlet. So I walk out and I shake this guy's hand, and I should have left. I should have quit. I lost the handshake. I'm not winning this. What am I doing out of here? And the referee looks at me and only me and goes, "Good luck." And this guy reaches around my arm and around my head and under my arm, and hip checks me down to the mat and lands on top of me. And the referee is there to meet us like he knew it was going to happen. And boom, I was pinned in 4.5 seconds. I became the fastest pinned person in the state of Ohio that night. Hell yeah, that's a state record, bro. And you might say there's no way they keep track of that record, and they do. You can go back and look at the Ohio State record books and see that this kid pinned Wayne Memmott in 4.5 seconds, because wrestling is a sport by bullies for bully to bully the bullied. So thank you all so much. That's my time. You guys are